Hi guys. So I thought there's not a lot of information about Meghalaya. I have recently done 2 trips to Meghalaya. So I thought I'll take less than 5 minutes and tell you guys about Meghalaya, how to travel and how to figure out what should your day look like in Meghalaya. I love the place. I'll go to that place again very soon. Um, Quick things about Meghalaya is that it's very clean. Not everyone understands Hindi there. Uh, Culture is a bit different. It's the only place in the country, it's the only state in the country that uh, follows where women are more powerful than men. After marriage, men goes to women's house. The properties are transferred from parents to women and not men, and so on and so forth. So the culture is totally different. Uh, yeah. Quick things. I'll just describe myself as a traveler. I like to spend 50-60,000 on a trip. I like to do 5-6 days. Um, I'm not a very heavy activity person. I mean, I like to also relax and chill in my trips. Yes. So to start with, how do you go and start the trip? So first you have to go to Guwahati. Uh, from Mumbai, from Delhi, all these places, the flights are very cheap. It's about 6, 7,000, 8,000 at most. We booked like 5 days before and we got it for 6, 7,000. Flight from Mumbai to Guwahati. Once you reach Guwahati, it's try and reach a little early because sun sets there at about 5 p.m. Sometimes at 4:30 p.m. So the day starts early. So you when you go to Guwahati, you need to rent a car, self-drive car, because the roads are really nice, um, and cars are cheap. We got a Creta for like 2,500 rupees a day, petrol and everything to be sponsored by us, um, and it was a good car. So first thing is you go to Guwahati, take a car on rent, then drive to towards Shillong. From Guwahati to Shillong, it will be about 2 to 3 hours. On your way to Shillong, you'll find Umiam Lake, which is very pretty. It's huge. You can obviously see photos everywhere on the net if you just search Umiam Lake, Umiam. So that could be the first stop. You can chill there for let's say an hour or so, then head towards Shillong. Shillong is a very good city. You should be staying there at least for a night because they're very good Airbnbs. Average price for an Airbnb that we paid would be around 4-5K. You can also get it for cheaper. We wanted to go for something, old school heritage kind of building. Yeah, so Shillong, you can get a good homestay where there would be dogs, the weather would be nice. Uh, Things to do in Shillong, maybe you can spend a day there. After the lake, you can go check out their police bazaar, all this area if you want to. But the more interesting part is the lake, Shillong Lake. Um, you can see good cherry blossom trees there. Yeah, so that's something you should see there. Then there is one or two cafe. I really like the cafe called Cherry Bean. It's near the bazaar, and Shillong is very small. You can rent a scooty, ask someone, maybe pay 200-300 to a guard or someone, and ask for a scooty, and then roam around in the scooty in the city. Once you're done with that, drive straight to Cherrapunji. Cherrapunji is again 2-3 hours from there. Now Cherrapunji is a place which is famous for waterfalls, and the water is blue. It's as clean as you can see through the bed of the water. I mean, you can see through the stone and pebbles. It's so clean. Water is ice cold. Make sure you go inside the water, and there's so many beautiful waterfalls. You can just so there is one lane, and all the waterfalls are in those lanes. You can go to Prut Waterfall. You can go to there are so many. In every 5 minutes there is a waterfall there, and everyone comes from the same street. It's just that it keeps going down and down and down, so the same waterfall is across the street, divided in 4-5 waterfalls. So once you have done that, it will take a good day or two. You can I actually love the waterfalls so much that I spent 2 3 days just there looking at the waterfalls. Then we got a property in Cherrypunji. Cherrypunji does not have a lot of very good properties and very decently priced properties, but this was a good one. Um, Sai Mi Ka, something like that. One second, let me just tell you. Yeah, it's called Sai Mi Ka Resort. We paid 2 3K. We got a good tent. It was really nice. We met a lot of people there. Also in Sai Mi Ka, there's a personal falls. It's like a personal waterfall, and it's very pretty. There's no one that comes there, so if you're a couple or someone, you can just spend your own personal time in that waterfall. Once you're done with that, Cherrapunji, to be honest, there's not much. The roads are really good, so it could be the best drive you have ever, experienced. If you enjoy driving, then you can go around. Now there's a place in Meghalaya where you can see really good stars from. Now you don't have to compare it with something like Finland and stuff. But in India, that would be the best because there's a landscape which has a lot of pine trees. There are good stars. There's a lake. This is a resort called Black Bridge Resort, which is on your way from Cherrapunji to Shillong. This is a very pretty resort. I mean, it's a hut. Okay, so don't expect anything from any amenities, anything. It's a very small hut, something about 1500 2000 per night. But the stars are amazing, and they'll set you up a bonfire. They'll give you home cooked food, uh, and the landscape is amazing. You can just spend all your night there. It's called Black Bridge Resort. Um, Also, people talk a lot about Dawki River. It's not amazing, I would say, because it's on the border of Bangladesh India border, and there's a lot of commercial trucks and all going on here and there. It's good for photos. If you're into photos, you can go there. They're good for It's a good place for that. You can experience some cliff jumping, but honestly, I went there first time and I don't want to go there again. I mean, first one was good enough. Now second place was Mawlynnong. Also, that is also after Cherrapunji, you can go to Mawlynnong. It's like 2 3 hours from there. Um, in Mawlynnong, it's the cleanest village, but that's about it. You can go to Living Roots Bridge, which is quite an experience. Um, but there are thousands of Living Roots Bridge there, so you don't need to go to double decker, which takes like 8 9 hours a day. You can see if you want to spend so much time on the bridge. You can just go close by um, to any of the Living Root bridges there from Mawlynnong. Mawlynnong, it's worth seeing. It's the cleanest village in Asia, but there's nothing other than that. So you can spend the night maybe, and then 2 3 hours in the morning, and then leave from there. Yeah, so that's about it. Um, on your way back to Shillong, you will find one. Um, Please search for Sacred Forest. After the Black Bridge Resort, search for Sacred Forest. It's a very good forest. Locals there will tell you everything about the culture. That's where I heard about this, that there are 52 kings still alive in Meghalaya. And you know how the king is decided? King is The next king is not the king's son. The next king is king's sister's son. As I told you, that Meghalaya follows um, matriarchal society, so that's how they do it. And a lot of other interesting things. You'll see rudraksh trees. You'll see where they do all the who they worship, and what all festivals they celebrate. So a bit about the culture. It's called Sacred Forest. It's in apologies if I'm not taking the name of the city right. It's Mawphlang. Okay. From the Black Bridge Resort, it would be about 25 minutes or so. So, not very far. Once you have done all of this, you can head back to Shillong, enjoy your night there again, and then to Guwahati, take a flight and come back again. So, overall, every day, let's say if it's a 6 day trip, you're spending about 3K a night. Um, Per head, maybe 2K per head, and that would be about 12K. All the flights would be, let's say, 15K, so that would be 27K. Now food and all, everything would be not very expensive. Also, if you're a vegetarian, don't expect a lot of good food. uh, most of them are non-vegetarian there, so you might have to eat some omelets in breakfast and stuff. So that would be another 5k, so 32k kind of thing. All your booze and all is not expensive, it's even cheaper than Mumbai. So maybe let's say 35k including all of that discretionary spends. Now on top of it, if you have to take, something like a car or something, car would be another 6k at least on you. uh, Everything, if you include, petrol and all, depends on how many people there are. Around 40-45k would be the total expense that you do in the 4 to 5 days. Yeah, that's about it. I genuinely thought there are not many informative videos about Meghalaya. There's a lot of picture, but not much information. So this if this helps anyone, I'll be glad. Any questions, you can just put it on comments and I'll reply to it. Thank you. Bye bye.